Good afternoon. Welcome to the Super Bowl experience for Super Bowl 58. I am Nancy Brown. I'm Chief Executive Officer of the American Heart Association, and we are delighted to be here today at the Super Bowl experience, teaching people the valuable life-saving skill of CPR. The American Heart Association is the worldwide leader in CPR education, training, and science, and it's for that reason that we are delighted to be here today to help kick off today's news conference. We want to give a special thanks to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and his amazing team for their commitment to ensuring that every high school athletic field in America and venue has the same core emergency response elements that we see on NFL fields. Along with the NFL and Damar Hamlin's Chasing M's Foundation, the American Heart Association is a founding member of the Smart Heart Sports Coalition. This coalition was established nearly a year ago to advocate for all 50 states to implement 3 best practices: evidence-based policies proven to prevent death from sudden cardiac arrest among high school students. These practices include emergency response plans for each high school athletic venue that are widely distributed, posted, rehearsed, and updated annually. Secondly, clearly marked automated external defibrillators at each athletic venue or within 1 to 3 minutes of each venue where high school practices or competitions are held. And third, CPR and AED education for coaches. You see, the facts are devastating. According to the most recently published scientific data, about 90% of the 350,000 people a year who suffer a cardiac arrest outside of a hospital do not survive. Saving lives from sudden cardiac arrest depends upon having a strong chain of survival across the emergency response system. This means immediately activating 911, starting high-quality CPR compressions, having an AED nearby and using it, and having EMS on scene and ensuring high-quality hospital care. Today, nearly 1 year after the NFL initiated the Smart Heart Sports Coalition, I'm proud to announce that this coalition has made very strong progress. A number of states have already enacted 1 or more of the policies, and 20 states are considering legislation thanks to the efforts of this coalition. Before we share more about how we plan to directly impact lives right here in Nevada, I'd be remiss not to acknowledge and give credit to an inspiring man and my dear friend, Damar Hamlin. Come on up here. For me and for so many others, Damar's story has become a hopeful call to action, and his personal journey has evolved to create a new kind of impact in the world, turning an unforgettable personal moment into an opportunity to advocate for CPR training and AED access in communities, in schools, and on sports fields to protect athletes just like him. With love and support from his amazing family, his mother Nina, his father Mario, and his younger brother Damir, Damar's charity, the Chasing M's Foundation, has doubled down on efforts to impact the next generation. Damar's story of survival was the spark that ignited the American Heart Association's Nation of Lifesaver campaign, and we're so proud that Damar serves as our national ambassador. It is my honor now, you'll hear from Damar in a bit, but before you do, it is my honor now to welcome Joan Ebert, the Superintendent of Public Education here in the state of Nevada. Joan?
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you all for being here. On behalf of the state of Nevada, the Nevada Department of Education, and our Governor, Joe Lombardo, welcome to the great state of Nevada. I'm Joan Ebert, and I'm honored to serve as the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. It's an honor to be here today with the American Heart Association, the National Football League, Chasing M's Foundation, and all the groups that are part of the Smart Heart Sports Coalition. I thank and applaud all of the members of the coalition for your leadership and commitment to raise awareness about sudden cardiac arrest. and the steps that must be taken with communities to better prepare and respond to these instances. Your efforts are truly life-saving. Las Vegas, as we know, is a sports city, and Nevada is a sports state. The Nevada Department of Education works with all 17 of our school districts, as well as our state public charter school authority, to educate and serve nearly 500,000 students. Many of these students dream of one day playing at the highest levels, including our own Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Almost all will be watching the game on Sunday, the edge of all of our seats. Each year, we know that sudden cardiac arrest threatens thousands of lives, and many of them are our young students. By equipping our schools in Nevada with AEDs, training, and emergency action plans, student athletes will have a safer environment, and these tools will become lifesavers. So, Nevada's Department of Education is pleased to join Smart Heart Sports Coalition. Consider us a teammate in this important cause in making our high schools more responsive and ready and resilient in the face of any emergency. Together, we will score a big win for Nevada's students and schools. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Miller. I look over health and safety initiatives for the National Football League. I'm honored to be here with the American Heart Association and, of course, with Ms. Ebert, as well as the Nevada Interscholastic Athletics Association for today's announcement. We'll get to the star of the show in a moment. Inspired by Damar and the events of last January 2nd, the NFL wanted to take advantage of the work that he has done and the Chasing M's Foundation has done with the league's platform in all of our communities to advocate for the use of AEDs, for the understanding of CPR, and for emergency action plans in all the high schools. We can save kids whose lives aren't being saved now. 40% of kids who suffer sudden cardiac arrest do so when playing sports. And yet only 1/3 of our high schools across the country have access to an AED machine. To us, that's a gap that's unacceptable. So the NFL wants to use its time, effort, its advocacy to spend time in our states, like Nevada, with the state legislatures, like the interscholastic associations, to change those numbers because we're losing kids that we don't need to lose. And as a result of Damar's heroism and that of the trainers and doctors who were on site that day, we can prevent some sudden cardiac arrest, lost lives. You don't have to be the NFL. We have 30 medical professionals on the sideline of every game. You don't need that. You need somebody who has an emergency action plan. You need somebody who has access to an AED, and you need to have somebody who understands CPR. That's it. That doesn't take 30 professionals. And we think that that simple message should carry the day. So with that, we're pleased to support Damar. We're pleased to lead the Smart Heart Sports Coalition, and I will introduce the head of the Chasing M's Foundation now, and the person you've all been waiting for, with a special announcement, Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, I got it. How y'all doing? I first want to thank everybody for coming out. This is near and dear to my heart, that we can do things like this. Being here on behalf of my foundation, alongside the NFL Smart Heart Sports Coalition and the AHA Foundation, the American Heart Association. We would love to learn. We have to learn from, good situations. We love to learn from the good situations instead of the bad ones. My situation could have went 1,000 other ways, and everyone would still feel that urgency that they felt on the first night and of the first month and the 2 months after it happened. We have to know that, that urgency that we felt in the beginning when my situation first happened. We have to keep that urgency. And, that's what we're doing here. We're keeping that same enthusiasm, and we're keeping that same effort going. So with that being said, I'm glad to announce through my foundation that we will be donating $100,000 worth of AEDs to all Title I schools in Nevada. It's truly an honor. It's truly an honor, and I'm truly blessed, to be able to use all the blessings that I received and all of the people who who's seen my vision of giving back to my small community of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And, you know, they seen my vision. And once they seen what happened to me, they wanted to show support. And, you know, I couldn't wait to get out of the hospital and be able to give that love back into the world, you know, in all places where it's needed. And, you know, as a kid growing up, I never once thought twice about where an AED was while I was in school or while I was playing. You know, I was just a kid being a kid, you know, and kids should be able to be kids. But situations happen, accidents happen, and kids need to be able to play safe, especially when they're in schools, you know. When parents send their kids off to schools, they're in other hands, and, you know, they want to know that their kids are safe wherever they're at. So, you know, to be able to directly be on that side of making the impact and making sure those kids can play safe, it warms my heart, and, you know, that's my real purpose in this world. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for coming out, and I want to present this AED right here to
Thank you so much. This is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold it up like a trophy. Hold it up like a trophy. There we
Come on.
go.
Let's make sure they get a nice fit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Kevin McPartland. I am the Assistant Superintendent of the Clark County School District here in Las Vegas and a board member for the Nevada Interscholastic Activities Association. On behalf of the NIAA, I want to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to Damar and the Chasing M's Foundation for these AEDs to all Title I schools across the state with athletic programs, 47 in all. These AEDs represent a major investment to our high school sponsored athletic programs, and they will help ensure that all high school student athletes and communities have access to this life-saving equipment. Thank you for your investment in our kids. We are committed over the next couple of years to work with the Smart Heart Sports Coalition, our state's policymakers, and other stakeholders to implement all the coalition's policies to protect our student athletes. Today, Nevada coaches receive CPR and AED education, and the NIAA is working on guidance to ensure that each athletic venue has an AED and emergency action plan in place. Later this year, we will formally adopt these policies and then work with our state lawmakers to codify and further strengthen them in law when the legislature convenes in 2025. As we press forward, we're grateful and encouraged to have the support and cooperation of the NFL, the AHA, Chasing M's, and all the members of the Smart Heart Sports Coalition. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We really appreciate all of you being here today. And we have in the American Heart Association Play 60 booth CPR training that we would encourage all of you to attend, led by our amazing American Heart Association team over there in the black jackets with the red heart. It just takes a few minutes to learn how to save a life. And knowing CPR and having access to an AED go hand in hand. And so we would invite all of you in, and we thank you so much for being here. Jeff, do you have final words you would like to say?
I do. Can I say something?
And we're going to, yes, Damar has something he would like to say.
Yeah, I got some final words, man. Like she said, it really only takes a few minutes to learn CPR, and I like to consider it a superpower, you know, because being able to save a life is really a superpower. So while y'all are out here, before y'all leave, if you don't know, please take a couple minutes to learn the superpower and be able to know how to save a life. You never know when that time is going to be your time, and there probably would be no lower feeling than not being able to know when you had the opportunity to know. So take the time out.
Perfect. Well said, Damar. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. Please come in and learn CPR, and we will do a photo right here.
Okay.
Oh, in front of the podium.
Okay, everyone. Let's get a few people in here. Let's learn this superpower.